Again.
We should pause that.
And now, bam! Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Tait Fletcher Show, or whatever this podcast is going to end up being named. It's our first inaugural event, being recorded right now in the lovely and snowy Santa Fe, New Mexico. And, yeah, man, what this is about, I guess, is a brief synopsis. I wanted to be able to reach more people, and I wanted to be able to do that via podcast at Rogan's behest. And he was talking about what a powerful experience it was, and or has been for him, and for me as well. And to be able to get out and talk to people about functional health, about nutrition, about government, about bettering themselves, their communities, and being empowered as a whole that spreads from the individual into the community is kind of the broad base of this. And I'm here tonight with two of my really good friends, Nate Harris, who is a movement expert and jiu-jitsu purple belt in 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu, and Maynard Del Mar, who is a DJ and works in the film world and just a fantastic artist in a lot of different regards, and an old friend of mine. And we're here to kick this thing off. So well, that's it. I don't know where else it goes.
Hi, Nate.
Hello.
So earlier, when we started talking, I walked into the gym today, and I was going to get a leg workout in, but I'm easily distracted by such things, and so we started chatting, and I'm not sure. I think it went right into homophobia. I walked into a homophobia conversation, and it's interesting because then Nate and I started talking about what that is and where that word came from, and that you're just kind of a dickhead. You're not scared of gay people, but you're just kind of ignorant and obtuse, I think, is the crux of it. Am I wrong? What do you guys think?
No, I think that's about right. Somebody said to me the other day, well, I'm homophobic. And I said, well, you know that...
They admitted that.
Yeah, they said, well, I'm homophobic. Kind of in a joking way. And I said, well, you do know that the word homophobe is really just a synonym for closet gay person, right? You know that's what that is.
What did they say?
They didn't really have a reply.
What do they think? What do they look like? What was their face like?
Pretty just blank.
I would think that anybody that's going I don't know. I guess there's people that fly Dixie flags and all types of shit that they think is okay, but like I got a good friend of mine that likes to paint up swastikas on herself and say it's not about Nazis, and I think that's straight fucking retarded. However, I mean, it's kind of like you can't fly the rainbow flag and not say that that's got anything other than homosexuality written all over it. It's like, sorry, motherfuckers hijacked that fucking Nazi symbol, and guess what? It does mean hatred and obliteration of people and genocide and all things racist. Like,
well, there's supposed to be a different
It's the
one.
Trump.
But there's supposed to be two different ones. There's like the one that goes counterclockwise and one that goes clockwise.
Listen,
I can't tell the difference.
I can barely. I almost have to Velcro my shoes. You want me to look at swastikas in a mirror or something like that to decide if it's Navajo or please. I'm sorry. It is what it is. Just like you guys all hijacked all you gays out there. I mean, good on you. You took the rainbow. I can never have my rainbow stickers, my rainbow bright, all that stuff now is gay. I'm not mad at you. Everybody got to have a flag, but it is what it is. You can't call it something different. But back to my previous point is I can't believe that there's a guy that would admit that he's homophobic. That's like, you're just signaling like, here's how obtuse and just behind the times I am in 2013. I don't know.
I think it's fear. I don't know. I think they're scared of themselves.
And what they'll do with other men.
Right. It's like they're looking at it, they're saying, I don't know, I'm probably going to suck a dick. I'm probably just going to put one right in my mouth if I get the chance. I'm going to be drunk, I'm going to be out with friends, whatever. Next thing you know, a dick's in my mouth.
Do you think they actually get scared of being too drunk? Like they're guarded?
Yes.
Like when they go out, they're like the way an alcoholic trying to control his drinking is like, I don't want to overshoot the mark. They're like, I don't want to overshoot the mark because I might just fall right on Jim's zipper.
What?
No,
you guys got to get in the mic.
Okay, I remember that. One time, it was hilarious. Every time a friend of ours got drunk, the next day, Maynard would be like, dude, you remember last night you got so drunk and we made out a little bit? No, we didn't.
Tricked him.
No, I'm like, every time. every time. Yeah, dude, you kind of blacked out. We ended up making out. No, and you could see the fear in his eyes that he was concerned that he actually did.
Not just fear though, but also kind of comfort. Like, you know, he was able to surrender and just be,
Like maybe he had a way he was going to spend the rest of the afternoon with you.
yeah. He was like, all right, well, you know, whatever. I'll just deny that it happened, and I'll try to remember as hard as I can if it happened.
Very nice.
Did I do it? Shit.
Or did I do it? Yeah.
Am I out now?
And then he gets
Is
into
that
a
what that means?
masturbatory thing, and he starts to freak out. And
Oh,
he's like,
Lord.
And he's jacking it, and then he says out loud, "I really love sucking Maynard Del Mar's dick."
Those are secrets I never want to know.
Yeah,
They really are.
it's true.
I think it's, I don't know. Like when you say homophobe and you say, you just should come out and say, like, people that are like white separatists, it's the same shit. It's like, that's such a nice way to say that you're an idiot. Like, it's so crazy. It's like that you diminish your, I mean, to me, it's like, I guess people think that it's a superiority that they're not whatever it is, gay or brown or whatever the deal is. But to me, it's just like, oh my God. Like, it's nice when people can celebrate it like that, because I'm like, you don't even need to wear an armband and I already know you're an idiot. You know what I mean?
It's
like,
really
it's
good, actually.
fantastic.
Because now we know exactly who they are.
Exactly.
And there's more of that. It's getting more audacious every day. I love it.
Well, it's in government now.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, you got people that are out there that are spouting, like, that try to make good arguments, like, for that. Like that one broad, what's her name, that her husband had a gay salvation.
Oh,
camp.
yeah, that guy.
You know what I mean? Where he was going to pray out the gay of you. And
Yeah, what's
I'm
her
like,
name?
Who loves dick more than that guy?
Yeah, you can hear it in his
Was
voice.
it Bachman? Michelle Bachman?
Yeah, Michelle Bachman's husband
God,
has a
yeah.
ministry that like cures gays.
Cures them.
Cures them. And you should hear him talk. His voice is like, you know.
And so that's what's crazy to me too, is all that stuff about that you can cure, that it's a choice, all that shit, man. It's like, I remember looking at this little kid Phil when I was growing up, and I don't even know if Phil knew he was gay, but he was definitely walked real light and talked real funny, and he was just different than other boys. You know what I mean? And but I don't even know if he recognized what it was. I never talked to him about it really, but completely gay and ostracized by his family, friends. Like, he had to hang out with people that would accept that, you know? Like, you don't get to choose who you hang out with when you're a young gay kid. And the crazy thing about that, I always thought, man, that's the fucking bravest kid I ever saw in my life. And then you think about what rights have been in this country. We were talking earlier about, it's Stonewall, the bar in New York?
Yeah, Stonewall.
Like back just in the 60s, late 60s I think it was. Late 60s, early 70s.
I think it was 68.
Where this is so fucking crazy that guys and girls, whoever, if you're gay at that time, you can't meet publicly. You can't, and so there's like secret codes, secret bars that you could go to on certain nights and certain hours, even in fucking cities like New York City. And you had to be accepted to go in there because they didn't want to get infiltrated. Because the police would come in and they would beat the shit out of everybody.
Yeah, it was a safety issue. They actually feared for their lives, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Like, they just want to, you know, have a little love.
Yeah, just like anybody else that
Just a
wants to go
little
to
love.
any bar anywhere.
Which means that they're a target to be murdered.
But if you go to any bar anywhere, you'll probably be killed, and everybody will give the guy that killed you an alibi.
Yeah.
Like, so you have to set up these special secret places. And then anyway, the police got hip to the skip about this secret gay bar, Stonewall, and they came down to business as usual, beat the shit out of everybody, and they got a surprise because they all nellied up, and they said, all right, let's go, boys, and they fucking got pool cues and whatever, and they went to war with the police, and they had a big, huge riot.
And they beat the police back, which is crazy.
So nuts.
Crazy that they beat the police back to the point where the cops were like, okay.
Point is, who's braver than gay people? I mean, really. And they can't be in the army? That's the fucking bravest individual in the country.
Well, now they can. They're good now.
Good.
They just all got
Good.
Better than women, I think. You don't want women in the army, do you?
I mean,
the thing that pops in my mind is tampons. I don't want anybody, first of all, that's going to have huge mutations in their moods
so military issued tampons.
in that kind of time, and then you got to dispose of tampons. And if you're trying to move like really surreptitiously, be quiet and all that, you're part of you're a Navy SEAL woman, and you got tampons behind. You can't.
Well, and plus,
it's a problem. That's all I'm saying. It's
plus
a
the
problem.
Chinese are going to take that blood and they're going to try to.
They might make.
They're trying to make a new soldier out of it by, like, you know,
I'm
genetically.
so crazy about the Chinese.
Yeah. You got
Did
it.
you guys hear this?
What?
I've been knowing since I was a little kid that the Chinese have you've only got 2 kids, I think you can get, or 1 maybe in China if you're a family. And so if you're born a little girl, you probably end up drowned in the river. Like they straight up just kill baby girls. You can look that up anywhere. That's a common known fact. But it's because they want the family name to go on, right? But now, I don't know, 30 years later down the road, there's a fucking whole group of men from the age of 12 to 60 sexually active with boners, and there's no girls to fuck at all. And so they did have some cities that were specifically prostitutes, but they can't service all the men. There's so many men. There's like fucking 50 million men.
That's like
with boners. That's like, you talk about trying to keep it communist, keep rules in place. You got a bunch of fucking testosterone fucking just boiling over men with boners. That's crazy. So now they're making machines. Technology has come to a point where they're making like Real Dolls Plus or whatever that can service fucking men. So men are learning to fuck machines. Talk about breaks in intimacy. I mean, I got problems saying I love you. Holy fuck. This is a whole nation of fucked people.
It's kind of like the Shakers. It's like some sort of weird twist on Shaker culture. Like I don't know the Shakers. Shakers are like a United States religious group back in the day, and they believed that you were never supposed to have sex. So ultimately, what happened?
Never.
Never. So they ultimately or never consummate, never procreate, all that stuff, whatever. So of course they all died off, and then they're done. And now all this, they produce furniture, which is now collectible because of Shaker furniture. It's called Shaker furniture, like tables and chairs.
I've heard of that.
Yeah, it's all wood. It's like really highly collectible. People love it.
You know, in Japan they have the girlfriend dolls, or it's the pillows, the girlfriend pillows.
Oh, I like that. I used to fuck pillows when I was a kid.
Yeah, they have the body pillows. They have a girl painted on them. Just outsource a bunch of those to China.
A girlfriend pillow.
Problem solved. Yeah.
It's like made in China, right? The girlfriend pillow.
No, it's made in Japan.
Okay.
It's a Japanese thing.
They do have a problem in Japan too. It's the same thing. I was hearing the dude that he's one of the writers or maybe owners of Vice.com, and he was talking about that too. He was talking about that there's such a fetish of what are they? The anime porn?
Oh yeah, tentacle rape.
I don't know what that means at all, and I don't even want to know. However,
do you rape a tentacle, or does
no? The tentacle is raping the girls.
I guess I'm going to find out.
Or raping you,
right? Because I guess in the anime, they can't show a dick penetrating a vagina, so what they do is they get tentacles. So they have like sea creatures raping girls.
Well, then, no, they got all types of shit. They got dicks. I mean, I've seen anime porn. Like, they got all of that.
They have some weird thing where, I mean, it's like Google tentacle. Probably the first suggested post that comes up is rape, tentacle rape.
Oh,
wow.
Probably.
Anyway,
let's find
they
out.
got special whores that they go to. They've got these anime places where they're playing anime whore houses, where it's just anime porn on, girls dressed up like anime, because they're just told, and they're about to porn themselves out of a culture because they don't want to fuck their wives, and so they're out. Dude, sex is the craziest thing. Are you looking up tentacle rape right now?
Are you
just by the look on your
tentacle,
face?
and actually, grape comes up. It's tentacle grape comes up first, then. Tentacle Wars purple, then Tentacles Enter the Dolphin, and Tentacle Bento.
That's what Red Band's been talking about, is how great dolphins are to fuck. Well, I don't know that he's actually fucked them yet, but he really wants to.
Wait, who's that?
My friend Brian.
He fucked a dolphin?
Not yet, but he says that they're the closest to a female vagina that is in the animal world.
As opposed to a non-female vagina?
That's not
a female human, I'm sorry.
Female human, okay. So he doesn't want to fuck a female human, he wants to fuck a female dolphin?
I'm not sure if he's just he's just looking to open his choices, maybe. I'm not certain.
Orientated towards dolphins then. So he's like a dolphin sexual, is what you're saying.
It's a titillating idea.
Oh. Now, he definitely wants a female dolphin, not a male dolphin, because that would be a...
I think the female, they're not...
A male dolphin will fuck you up.
Why is that true?
Yeah, male dolphins?
Well, that's the problem with the goat, too. I guess they're very similar, but they're very aggressive.
Male dolphins will rape a human.
Oh. I don't know.
Yeah.
Is that true?
Why would they... Yeah. Where did you hear that from?
I saw it on the internet, and everything's true on there, right?
What did you see on the internet? What did you see specific? What site were you on?
Let me Google it.
Okay. The Google machine, which is sort of becoming the religious leader of our popular culture. So like the Pope, like the Google's become the Pope. Okay.
It's become school too.
Yeah, so you can just sort of put anything in there and see what he says, and whatever he says is right. You know.
5th suggestion down. Dolphin rape caves.
Dolphin rape caves, because if you're in a
Oh my god.
cave by a dolphin,
The internet's too much. It's the thing that's going to save us and maybe bury us at the same time. It just depends what we choose to type in there, I think.
or what they choose for us to see when we type in there.
Well, how much do you think is controlled right now?
I think pretty much a lot of it.
They're trying to more and more. I mean, they're trying to pass legislation on it. They're saying they want to save people from piracy. That's what their legislation is.
Yeah, of course.
That's what that's all veiled by.
It's all about saving the people.
I believe that it's the only thing that's going to save us from world domination by corporations. I think that, I mean, ever since when Iran was having uprising a couple years ago, and Twitter was the only thing that would come out,
Yep.
and that's the way that the rebels would meet up and gain support or get supplies, was through Twitter, because they blacked out the country.
Yep.
And the Iranian government did. And, you know, I look at that now, and even the indignados in Spain, like that's how Oakland protesters at Occupy Wall Street,
What's an indignado?
they're the kind of freedom fighters in Spain that started off protesting. They were the first ones to start protesting, then it went through Syria and Egypt and Tunisia and
Arab
Greece,
Spring.
and so that they learned, I don't know if it's Maalox, I think it is, that they painted their faces with, and it cut the tear gas. And so, I don't know, even just all that, like you look at what we learned from each other globally and consciousness-wise, and it's kind of like the reason I got excited about podcasts and talking to different guys is that the consciousness is expanding and multiplying at an evolutionary rate that is unheralded. Before, we've never had anything like this.
Because we're all talking to each other. We're all sharing information
Huge.
now. And so it becomes instant.
Yeah.
Instant consciousness.
It's weird too, because the internet used to be just people talking shit to each other, and I look, the more and more I'm engaged in Twitter, and I'm sure that there's retards out there, but there's people that are just looking for help from one another, and there's people that are looking to give help to one another, and there's people looking to make each other rise up and get involved, and that, I don't know, it's an interesting thing that we're just starting to experience. I think we're just right at the cusp. I don't know. You look at like your stuff with all right. It is like the way technology shifts everything is strange. But like Nate just now, what did you get? You got a text message.
I got a text message from some number I don't have. It says, "Hey Nate, I like your Facebook page. Please friend my Skype, Jen Struts 8, so we can talk. Ciao, Jenny." And of course, you know, please.
So is it real?
PLZ.
You don't know Jenny.
I know some Jennies. I don't know if I know this Jenny. I think the Jennies I know probably want to be Jen Struts.
And it's Hollywood, West Hollywood number 323.
323. I don't know a Jenny from West Hollywood.
It could be somebody getting you a job.
It could be.
I mean, it could be somebody who could hire you for
be
a job.
It could be just some naughty tranny that you went on some website and she got your number.
Shit.
I didn't know you were into
What other websites besides superheroes? Nate loves superheroes, for one thing.
That's true.
Oh, God, now he's upset. He doesn't like to be a dork, but is it dorky to like superheroes? I mean...
No, it's becoming more mainstream now. It's okay.
So now you're okay. You didn't have the balls to stand up for your nerddom a little bit ago, but now that Marvel's made it cool,
I thought you were gonna...
now you're okay.
Yeah, pretty much.
So
No, actually,
that's like a Christian. That's
actually,
like some Christian
it
shit
has-
where I got all these ideals that the Pope says, but as soon as the Pope changes his mind, nope, them are my ideals too.
Actually, it has
I
less...
wish that you had a little more heart in your superhero-ness.
It's okay. No, I was going to explain it, but Tait doesn't like to let anybody talk, so... No. It has less to do about Marvel and more to do about just my confidence as a person now.
Is that because of CrossFit Jiu-Jitsu?
Yes. I figure with CrossFit Jiu-Jitsu, like, that gives me some rights to be dorky and nerdy in ways.
Because you can strangle people?
Right. If you make fun of me for liking comic books, well, I'm going to put you to sleep. So who really wins in that argument?
And tell people about your body.
This is some real homoerotic shit happening right now. Just because Maynard really likes Nate's body.
I mean, you've worked really hard at it, so
That's
I mean,
true.
they can't see it right now. They can't
No,
see what
they
I'm
can't.
looking at right now. I mean, you should.
You
tell
can
me what's
find Nate
happening.
Harris on Facebook, though, and you can see all kinds of pictures of him without his shirt on. Because if he goes into any bar in any town, anywhere, that shirt is coming off. Because what's a t-shirt to you?
It's like a jail cell.
That's right, jail cell.
It's a prison cell.
Like a hashtag jail cell right there for
Hashtag
Nate
jail
Harris.
cell. T-shirts.
So anyway, back to Hot Jen Struts.
Yeah.
Hot Jen Struts, and then so I sent a text back. Who is this? She has yet to reply. So we'll see if it's an actual bot, or if it's a bot, or if it's an
I think you
actual
should give her a
person.
call.
Okay, let's call her.
You're gonna call her right now.
Call her right now. Should I
Put it on speakerphone, yeah, because we need to know who this
course.
is. This is horseshit.
This is going to go to a fax number or something.
You've reached a pinger number. We'll let the person know you called.
A
To get
pinger.
your own no monthly charge unlimited texting and calling number, go to pinger.com. All I can do is hang
this a
up
bot
now.
service?
Why don't you go first so I
Pinger?
don't have to
Okay,
hang up on you?
look up pinger.
Pinger.
Yeah, what's a pinger number? This is education right here, folks.
Go into Google.
Pinger's new shit to me.
Yeah, it's new
There's
to me
new
too.
shit every day on the internet.
Never heard of it.
of it.
Pinger number.
Pinger makes texting and talking free.
It's just like Viber, maybe.
I don't even know what
Viber's the shit, man. If you don't have Viber, download that. You got anybody that goes over the country, you can text and phone call for free in any Wi-Fi area with the Viber, and it's a free app on your phone. It's awesome. If we had sponsors on this, maybe I would talk more about it even.
Wait, but this is the same thing with pinger. It's
Free texting and calling to any phone in the U.S. and Canada, including landlines and non-smartphones.
and
Plus,
35 countries.
I wonder if they have a database of your number and they just sold
Yep.
it to Jenny Struts, and
Yep.
she's trying to get
God
you
damn
to
it.
watch her
Yeah, don't
take her bra off on the internet.
download pinger.
I feel so used.
I feel like if Jenny would have sent a picture with that,
yeah.
maybe that would have piqued my interest more.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Jenny, let's see what you're working
Yeah,
with.
why
I
don't you
don't
ask
even
her
know
for a
that I
picture?
want to see her.
Text her back and ask her for a picture because
And
seriously,
what if that were Nate, or what if that were Maynard's phone?
Yeah,
I don't want to see Jenny Strut.
No. He wants to see James.
You guys just can't let it be. Can you?
Hey,
Just gotta-
my Skype is James Struts 9.
Why is Jenny 8 but James is 9?
Because
9 is a more desirable number for men, is what you're saying.
correct. Yes.
People have to work
Because
with
he got
that.
bigger chests.
It's
If
nine-
it's like a body
Nine
morph
is
thing,
okay. Turn
9
him,
is like a big chest and a little tiny waist.
right, turn him
8
side.
is more voluptuous.
Turn him sideways.
Everybody knows that.
8 is boobs. 9
Is what?
a cock and balls.
Have you ever seen boobs? I
Once.
guess you got a point though. 9 could be a cock and ball. Yeah,
It could
it's
be.
a little skinny spaghetti cock. I don't think it's one that befits
Well,
Maynard.
It's kind of a limp one. It's a limp one. It's a limpy.
What else? What else does the internet do on Maynard's phone?
Well, there's Grinder. You got Grinder on Maynard's phone.
What's Grindr?
You know, we
For
can't
all-
go 15 minutes
what-
without me being outed in front
what-
of the whole nation. It's
what's-
like
what's-
ridiculous.
what's-
It's like,
what's
you guys
Grindr?
can't ever let me just be a DL gay.
God damn it! What's Grindr for all
It's
the people
ridiculous.
that don't know?
I
What
gotta be
Grindr
like
is?
the out front gay. You know, here's my token gay friend.
Everybody
Here he
got
comes.
everybody got to fly their flag.
Grindr is a social media networking app that's on your phone that tells you about local gays in your area that you may or may not want to meet up with.
And you can, by in your area, you can. How finite can you direct that search?
Well, you don't search; it just you can log on and all these pictures pop up of all these profiles.
You know how many feet they are away from you?
Yeah, you can know how many feet they are away from you, and sometimes they're 0 feet. Like if you're in LA, if you're in West Hollywood, you got like 50 dudes that are 0 feet away from you, and you're just like looking around like crazy. But if you're in like Nebraska, then maybe the nearest dude is like 17 miles
This
away.
podcast is about to really pick up. Nate's pouring out delicious bulletproof coffee, replete with additional nutrients in it from maca. I don't know if you guys have fucked with maca yet, but it's got all sorts of really great health benefits.
And we got grass-fed butter in here too,
We
right?
got grass-fed butter. We got some MCT oil, courtesy of Dave Asprey. What a company that is! Bulletproof Exec, blowing up. BulletproofExec.com. You should check it out if you don't, if you care about yourself, your body, or your community at all. And that dude just sent me free coffee the other day. Like they send anybody that's a good customer. I don't know what that means. If you spend $8,000 with them or something, you get a free bag of coffee. But
Nice.
anyway, whatever it is, my orders have been. I just got a free bag of coffee the other day. Thank you very much, Dave.
$8 grand.
I
Wow.
don't know. I'm just guessing.
I mean, it doesn't surprise me.
I spent some money over there.
It doesn't surprise me at all that you would spend $8
But
grand.
I love that shit. I mean, man, and I
It's
can't tell you how grateful I am.
I think they should get a mascot, and they should use the MCT oil as the thing. Like, make it be MCT oil. Like, that's his. He's like a rapper.
MCT.
Yeah, he's like a rapper. MCT oil.
I like that.
Yeah. He could just rap about,
I like that.
healthiness and bulletproofness.
MCT oil.
MCT oil. What's up, dog?
A big pendant that was like a coffee mug.
Yeah. Yeah. MCT oil in the house.
It's good
I like
shit.
that.
Yeah.
I like that.
I think that's the way. That'd be good.
Hey, yo, T-Oil. Drop the bass.
It's $1 million campaign right there, people. I just came up with it just like
I'm gonna go to his seminar. He's got a seminar coming up on January 17th, where there will be all types of functional fitness and brain hacking type experts and geeks there, all exchanging ideas and teaching people brand new shit about how to biohack your life. Which I'm super stoked to go to and hoping to do a podcast over there with some of those people.
they're good people.
Yeah, it'd be interesting, man. Like, just as far as movement, there's a dude that like a friend of mine. I talked to Dave a little while ago on the phone, and he was talking about that a friend we have in common that was doing broad jumps with a guy, and the guy there just correcting body dynamics and mechanics got him jumping like an extra 2 feet inside 10 or 15 minutes. Just like when you watch people that are experts at movement and the way they can dial that in and adjust people's movement to where it becomes just excellent in a matter of moments. I don't know. I'm super, super duper excited. And then there's this other thing that they've got that is like you're in a room and there's a magnet and it's up. I don't know. They say that it gives you like 40 years of meditation, like Zen meditation, that you can compile that in like 7 days, and it gives you that you vibrate kind of on that vibration that monks are trying to get to.
What's the magnet made out of?
It's a huge fucking magnet that you're in a room with, and you're doing these exercises that are trying to separate your primal brain from your more higher learning centers in your brain, so that you can make decision making based on kind of like a functional and intellectual ideal instead of emotional, rapid basal responses.
I probably need that.
Fuck, I do, dude. I feel so. I'm like, dude, that sounds awesome. It's $14,000 to do it though. It's
Okay.
like, and I'm like,
Where is this?
and I'm like, I don't know that it. I don't know what it does. Like, I'm not like, I don't have Joe Rogan money. I'm not like,
You can't
let's
guarantee
go do that.
it's worth the money.
So what I'm trying to do is I'll do a whole documentary on this and show my results. Just put me through the fucking 7-day program.
Right.
So I don't know.
Will they allow documentarianism?
Oh yeah, I think so. I mean, I would think anything like that, cutting edge and that, like the U.S. Army does it. They do it with their snipers, with their SEAL teams, with the Rangers, with all their elite fighting. Like, they all go through this course multiple times, and you're taking all kinds of like MMPIs. Like you guys haven't ever been into drug rehab or been locked up for anything, but MMPI is like a Minnesota multi-personal inventory. It's like I think 500 or some questions, and it does like a personality disorder kind of overview of a person, and then they do IQ testing, and they do all these tests. There's like a battery of 5 or 6 tests that you do during that time and then after that time. And Dave said that he jumped 20 IQ points after doing it.
What does that mean?
Isn't that crazy?
Is that like the standard IQ test though?
Yeah.
What is it? Okay, so if you jump IQs, does it mean like you can add like 2 + 2, really good, but then now you can add like 2,000 something, all these like
Or they talk about what kind of what parts of your brain that you're present to using. Does it open up and unlock other aspects of your brain? Does it make you compute quicker if you're going to use mathematics or does it make your creative process more expansive, or like what goes on? I don't know.
I'll take all that.
I would think it's a holistic thing. I wouldn't think that it's compartmentalized. But I don't know.
Is it like a resort though?
That's why we need this documentary. Goddammit.
Okay, so it's like a resort. You go there.
I don't know that it's a resort. Actually, I think you stay in a hotel. You check yourself in every morning with another group of people, and you're in this room for like 8 or 10 hours. Dave says time just elapses, and you're just in it. You don't even recognize time anymore. By the time you're out, you're kind of tired at the end of it. You go to sleep, go back the next day to do it for 7 days.
Wait, do they touch you?
I think they hook electrodes up to you.
Oh.
So your head's full of electrodes, and then I know they're playing music, and you're trying to direct it at certain points, and like, I don't know. I'm too ignorant to be able to answer. And
I just want to know if they touch me.
I'm gonna find the website.
You'd like to be touched.
And I need to be touched. I'm not going to spend $7,000.
You wonder why it goes
14.
gay.
14.
You know what I mean?
I'm not saying. Listen,
how
it's
dare
not a
you?
gay thing. It's a
You wonder
touching
why
thing.
it goes gay. It's a touching thing.
It's
really?
a touching
you
thing.
Want some
Yeah, I mean,
to come up and
well,
touch
wouldn't
you?
you want like a lady to be like, you're spending $7,000. You're at a beautiful resort. 14 grand.
I would
you're at a
think
beautiful
I would
resort.
if I'm going to spend $7,000 or $14,000. I want far more than a fucking handy from a beautiful lady.
Yeah, but
I better get more
this is what
lasting
I'm saying.
results than a nut.
So I'm saying at least a handy.
I
Plus
feel
the
like we're
magnet.
on different pages.
A magnetic
I
handy.
can't believe I'm more involved than you sexually.
I wonder if the magnet
This is
actually gives you a
disgusting, Nate.
handy. Maybe the magnet would give you a handy.
We're not in China.
It's very confusing.
Wait, is the retreat in China? Are you gonna fuck machines when you go? Part of becoming more enlightened is learning how to fuck a machine.
Oh boy.
How did we get here?
Back
I think
to
it's in
here.
Tucson. I think they do one in British Columbia and one in Tucson.
How? Give me some dimensions on the magnet. I need to know like what.
I don't know. It's like a 10,000 ton magnet. It's like some immense, enormous, and that's I think the cost of the deal is the machine that you're kind of sitting within.
I gotta say, it sounds a little bit scary.
It sounds frightening.
Yeah, it sounds like you're gonna get like brainwashed. You got electrodes.
I told Bravo about it, and he was like, "Dudes did it, and they didn't die. Let's try it." Which I thought was hilarious.
But maybe they died inside.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you figure that the U.S. government's doing it to make all our soldiers better at their jobs and able to make snap decisions under duress, under fatigue, under all that shit. Like, not that the U.S. government doesn't fuck up on the steady, but
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe not the best standard to follow.
Yeah.
How's the government treating the soldiers? All right, good for me. maybe you know,
maybe no.
maybe no.
Yeah, I don't know.
We need to know this stuff. All right, you do it, Tate, and then I'll just watch. If anything
I'm
goes
in.
wrong,
As soon as I get the money, I'm in. I'm the fucking. I'll do whatever, dude. My whole life has been that. Like the best parts of my life have been just trying shit. You know, it's like I just throw myself in and I tried this. It's like when, like with fighting, it was the first time I got any kind of meditation kind of response out of life, and I was like, fuck, man, I can go and I can just try to not get choked and try to choke people or do a sweep or something for fucking 2 hours. I don't have to think about my girlfriend, about my bills, about my life, about all my failures up to this point or whatever it is. And I got free. And I was like, ah. And that's what jiu-jitsu did for me, you know? And I was like, awesome. So I kept doing that. It was like I got a positive response and I kept doing that and kept doing that and kept doing that. It was the single best thing I ever did for my life. And then I look beyond that and I go, okay, what's the next thing I'll throw myself into? And then I go and I got to lose weight for a fight. And then I go into, I think the first diet I ever tried was like the Atkins diet. So I did that. And then after that, I got deeper and deeper into health and I started lifting weights and started going, well, I guess I was like an athlete by accident, just by trying to get out of my head. And then, I don't know, recently, like in the last 8 or 10 years, it's been like try the zone diet. I'm going to try and measure all my food and all, and I did all that and see what the results are with that. And awesome. And then I throw myself into going into a full paleo diet and do that 100% for a couple months. See what that result is. I did the same thing with the bulletproof stuff, and I went in, you know, and the primal blueprint. I think Mark Sisson is a genius too, man. And just going and seeing how my body works and that's just with food. Like, but I've done that with everything. Anything good in my life has been something that it's like, let's try that, you know. And the difference has been is I see people and they read books and they don't know shit. It's like they got talking points, but all the information gets muted and they don't know what they did, and they don't have any experience with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because you once said to me that you and your associates, us included, other people, we are on the forefront, on the cutting edge of research with nutrition and health and exercise. Yeah. Because you guys are experimenters in the field every day. Yeah. And you use your food that way, the micronutrients, what you take in, you're testing it through performance and through athletics, and it's amazing. And so what's going to replace that when it comes to, like, you know, a book? Like, you read the books and stuff and you get the basic knowledge and then you go out and test it. Right. And there's like thousands of you doing that in Los Angeles.
Especially when there's such contrary information out there. Right. I mean, that thing, I don't know, who was it, Nate, that thing that I was reading today, that and Dave put it up, Bulletproof Exec put it up.
Oh, some life hacker.
Yeah, and at Life Hacker, how dare you, whoever you are. Like, they've got something out there that is like, they've got this 10-point checklist, and it's like going back to reading Men's Health or some remedial prehistoric publication that's got some PhDs that I don't know where the fuck they got them from, or they just don't care anymore. But you got such misinformation out there, it's ridiculous. And so having to get through all that and going, like 20 years ago and going, well, I'd just like to have a bicep or something, and I'll read Men's Health or I'll read Muscle Media 2000 or whatever, and you got to negate the fact that all these guys are on drugs. All these guys everybody's taking like steroids or some kind of enhancement throughout the whole course of their photography sessions. And so you're like, you're never going to get there, and you're never told the truth. And like to really work as a professional athlete and work towards the truth and go, here's function and performance, like you're saying, Maynard, that's been the one thing that has kept me on track, because I'm like, well, let's see if it's true or not. And I don't know unless I try, and unless I've read it, and like being in those conversations of like, here's all these people like my friend Logan Gelbrick and Danny Leslie, like they own FFOTB.com, which is Functional Fitness on the Bluffs, and guys like Andy Petranek at CrossFit LA, and like all these people, that are out there. Or you look at the mobility wad that the dude that owns CrossFit San Francisco puts out.
I love that. Yeah,
Kelly started. It's like just information out there for free, and you look what the internet's doing for us as far as propelling our health and our function into a way deeper realm than we've ever been before. But when I started doing it too, is I go, ever since I was a little kid, dude, the first time I got slapped around by a cop, I was like, this is bullshit, and they're not here to help me. Like, how am I going to trust the FDA? How am I going to trust people like that when you look at stuff that's out there like Splenda that gets signed off by the FDA because Rumsfeld wanted it pushed through? You know what I mean? And it fucking kills every animal it touches.
Yeah, and also Rumsfeld, they were able to block stevia. This is back in the 80s. They blocked
the natural root.
Rumsfeld used
Stevia
his
is a
power.
natural sweetener that just comes from plants.
Yeah, and he was able to use that in the FDA to block the stevia market, which is why now it's considered an herb, which is why it's regulated like an herb because of Rumsfeld. Huh? And he had the whole thing.
So anyway, with shit like that out there, when you've got the government doing that, how can I trust that when they're telling me to eat 9 servings of grains a day, and every effective test out there, and my body's responses and everybody else's that I know, which are tens of thousands of people in this movement of health and function, grains are killing, and they give diabetes to, and then all kinds of deleterious effects. But when the government's telling me to eat more of that because it's traded on the stock market, how is it more scary for me to test all this shit on my own body? Dave does a lot of cutting edge stuff, and he's like, like with modafinil is one of the substances he talks about, and that's another thing that's given the U.S. Army to keep them up for hours and keep their mental acuity, their judgment, and all that stuff operating at high levels. And they say it's got 0 side effects that are really downsided, unless you've got, I think, a prevalent heart illness that's already present in your body. But even something like that, which is kind of crazy, you're going to take a drug to put in your body to fucking adjust how normal you are or aren't. But it's not that crazy. Because how many people do you know on antidepressants?
Yeah.
How many people do you know that have to take asthma medication every day of your whole life? You can't make that shit better, doctors? You know what I mean? What's up, Big Pharma? You can't make it something so it's not going to make your bronchioles fucking close down and tighten up. It's crazy.
It's super cray.
Thought that was maybe Jen calling me back.
Oh, crazy. Yeah. So
Nate just got a phone call, and he got excited because he thought maybe that his
Jen Strut,
his bot that wants him to Skype with him.
Yeah. His Skype bot.
But alas.
Okay, so if she did call and she was like, let's FaceTime right now. Not that you have FaceTime because you have an archaic phone, but besides that.
Right.
If you had FaceTime, would you do FaceTime, and how far would you go with the bot before you knew it was an actual person?
I would take it as far as I could. See how far I could go. Let's push the limits.
Up to and including...
I'm not in the business of staying in my comfort zone.
Erection in front of the camera. Erection in front of the camera. Full on erection.
Well,
as little or big as it may be.
You're not going to be in the room, Maynard.
You're not going to be in the room.
I'm not in there. I want to be in there.
And number 2, if we were FaceTiming, I would already know at that point that's not a bot.
No, she wants you to send pictures first, and then she'll link with your FaceTime. And then she wants a short video, and the next thing
she wouldn't get a dick pic.
She would not.
She would not get a dick.
So you're
pic.
gonna hold the dick back
I'm gonna
until
hold.
you know it's
I'm
a
gonna
real
withhold
lady.
the dick until I know it's a real lady.
Now why?
Got morals, yo.
If it's just your dick, what's it matter? What do you mean morals? No, you don't. I've seen the girls you fuck. Come on.
I've seen them too, actually.
Can we use past tense, please?
Okay. Your penis has a track record. That's all I'm saying.
Go penis.
Yeah, high five.
Well, there's winning records, and then anyway.
Okay, so what? So you wouldn't show the dick until you knew it was a girl, or you saw that it was a girl.
Yeah.
Now, what if she pops on the screen? And it's like all good. You're all excited, and then it's like time to show the dick. But she kind of has big hands and maybe like a sort of a deeper voice than you normally expect from a hot, sexy lady.
What about
Would you still show
what about
that?
dick pics is so bad?
They're just so weird, really. I mean,
like it ruins careers, like that Anthony Weiner dude does.
Yeah,
We
how
talked
does that-
about him the other day, right?
Yeah.
yeah, that whole thing is crazy.
Because we were watching Spartacus.
Yeah, Spartacus.
That's
God
like-
damn, that's the gayest show ever.
And they're
I've been watching the whole season. I'm like 15 episodes
Wait,
in.
it's a season? It's like a series?
It's a series on
Oh, I thought it was
Starz.
like a movie.
The Stars Network.
Wow.
And it's just dudes that are oiled up in loincloths, living together as slaves, and so they all bathe together and stuff. And there's just cocks and balls, and they fight in the shower sometimes.
How have I never seen this? Like,
Dude,
what's
you would love it.
Wait, what network is it on?
It's on Stars. Here's the box cover right here.
Okay, let me take a look at this.
It's amazing.
Okay.
And actually, one of the stars in it, I was like, dude, these guys are never going to have a career after this. One of the guys was just in the latest Tom Cruise movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's in the next
He's like a major star now. Like, his name's
See,
Jai.
it pays to get gay, I'm telling you.
Well, he didn't. Let's not go. There's kids out in the world. Come on.
Okay, it pays to
Anyways,
do other things.
Spartacus is
Aside.
very erotic. If you're a young homosexual gentleman that's out there and you're looking for something that is both manly
Well, wait.
and arousing,
Well, hold on. Wait, let's say you're not a homosexual.
maybe you have a
gentleman,
Roman fantasy.
and you still want to see that. Go ahead. Be a straight guy and look at it. It's
Go
cool.
ahead, because that's who Maynard likes the most. Is you guys that are pretending you're straight, and maybe you got some questions.
I can't answer. some
That's
questions.
his demographic.
I definitely can answer
That's
questions.
his demographic.
But I will
If you-
say-
if you're confused, he's like an oracle.
But an oracle. Okay. But I want to say that, like, this is the age of the objectification of males. I mean,
Whoa.
it's happening. Just like we've done
Aren't we
this to women.
self-objectifying though?
A what?
Self-objectifying.
It's a question.
I mean, go to Nate Harris's Facebook page. Tell me it's not
It's
true.
true, but who decided
Yeah.
that? Who decided that? I think
Me.
I think gays decided that it was okay. They kicked it all off.
Is that true, Nate?
And gay rights.
Did you get a letter
Not that I recall.
What letter?
I don't think
to tell him to start objectifying himself?
Well, I think
on
gays
there?
started doing it with each other, so you're right. They did it first.
Elton
Okay.
John never tweeted me or anything saying, "Hey, it's okay to."
Is it true that gays are the cutting edge of everything? When you say that the gays did it first, they were on the cusp, and now the rest of the mainstream society is just following behind them.
I do think that a little bit, but I think it's because women were like, yeah, let's see some muscles and some chest. Let's see some. Yeah, it's like that. So women kind of like, straight women kind of fueled it after that.
Okay.
So really, it's sort of a master plan of gays using heterosexual females to get all you guys naked. That's really what's going on.
Gays are
Diabolical.
using females so they can be aroused by Nate's topless pics.
Yeah, and then guess what? We get to see it too, right, Nate?
I'm sorry, what?
High five.
High five. I'm sorry, I got distracted. I was tweeting Rob Wolf.
Nate really is.
He's a
something
good guy,
else.
Rob Wolf.
He's amazing to go to lunch with. I know you got a friend like this where he's on his phone all the fucking time, and it looks like he's just staring at his cock all the time, but it's because his phone's in his lap. And maybe you want to throw that fucking phone against the wall or something, or drop it in water, or perhaps just if there was like a heavy bottle on the table or something, just smash it. It would feel so good. And you have fantasies about that. You'd never really do it because that would be violent and it would be wrong, and you'd
scary.
be maybe hurting, and you'd scare other patrons. But that's what you're thinking about the whole time that you're having a meal with them. That's what Nate is.
I'm popular.
Is that what it's
The
called?
opposite of popular
Yeah, it's more like desperate.
and annoying. And childish.
I'm just,
I always say when people do that, Tate, when people do that, I always say, "Are you with me or against me? Like, what's going on here? Like, you're on your phone. Are you with me right
I
now?"
like
Because
the
we're
line
having
you
dinner."
say too a lot of times when you go, "Are you texting me? I'm right here."
Are you texting me? Because I'm right here. That's what I say. That's a good pickup line, by the way, for straights and gays. Doesn't matter who it is. You see someone you like, you think they're hot, they're on their phone. You walk up to them and you say, "Hey, you texting me? Because I'm right here."
I think you got to say, like, what's his name that is in Gangster Squad? The hot guy?
Ryan Gosling?
Is it Ryan Gosling? Is he the one that played the stunt driver that stomped that guy's face out in the elevator too?
Yeah.
Glad you knew just who I was talking about, Nate.
Because I know what line you're talking about.
Homosexual alert.
Because you're talking about the pickup line in the movie Gangster Squad.
Well, and then there's all these things on the internet, and everybody's like in the CrossFit thing, I saw a thing, and it's a picture of that dude, and you're going, "You don't have to do this WOD alone, girl." Or something like that, you know, like, and then his new line on Gangster Squad where she's like, "Oh, are you going to take me away from all this?" He's like, "I was just hoping to take you to bed." And so he can just say whatever, and then pussies are dripping.
Oh yeah, that dude. Yeah, the blonde dude.
Yeah.
I know that line. That's a pretty good line.
Yeah. But you could see him saying that.
Yeah, he could say that.
"Hey girl, you don't have to text me, I'm right here."
Are you texting me, girl? Because I'm right here.
You're welcome, Ryan Gosling.
You can use
You're
that.
welcome.
Feel free to use that, Ryan.
Free of charge.
That's a gay guy getting you some extra pussy right now. You can thank Maynard Del Mar. Which is a full name. That's not of the sea for you bilingual cats out there.
And my Twitter, by the way, is Maynardo. Because, you know, write to me, tweet to me.
At Maynardo.
At Maynardo.
Was that a personal message to Ryan Gosling or just in general?
I mean, I'm not going to push his tweets out of bed.
For eating crackers?
Yeah. For tweeting crackers.
What if they were gluten free? Be no problem.
I would definitely keep the crackers in the bed.
Be way better. If you're eating regular crackers, then we might have a problem.
Yeah.
Because you clearly don't care about your health.
What is it with Olympic powerlifters? You guys see them?
What is it with Olympic powerlifters?
The Olympic lifters and the powerlifters. I've never seen one of those guys that's in a really great shape.
No.
Well, let's talk about Rob Tapia down in Albuquerque at Black Box Fitness.
I want to call him a power lifter nor an Olympic lifter.
He's a CrossFitter who's strong.
He's a strong CrossFitter.
He's really strong.
Yeah.
You look at any elite powerlifters though, or any
They're
elite,
fat as shit.
and they're fucking really heavy.
It's because, you know, it takes mass to move mass.
Maybe I have a chance then.
What do you think about that though? Like, what's his name that just came to CrossFit Santa Fe?
Jeremy.
And
Yeah.
Jeremy Rutledge, a pimp, and in really good shape, and
He was badass. That whole seminar was amazing.
really incredible.
Yeah, I learned so much instantly.
But what he reminded me of was that one doesn't connote the other. Like the way Olympic lifters are, they're looking for a heavy single. They're looking for one good, excellent looking lift. And in CrossFit, the CrossFit modality is like, let's bang out 50 snatches in a row or whatever.
As fast as you
Yeah,
can.
yeah. And so it kind of gets sloppy, but the more you move through that slop, your body starts to just move efficiently and correctly and beautifully because it will snap into. It will naturally after you do enough reps. So that's I don't know. It's a conversation of like to say one's wrong and not the other. You're either getting there faster or slower. I guess like maybe if you just put in the reps in, your one beautiful one will come up quicker. But I guess your potential to hurt yourself maybe is greater.
Well, I think that is the new dialogue. That's the new conversation. Is what's your goals and which is going to work out best. But like Jeremy was saying, you have bad habits that you get from doing it really fast without concentrating. So
Right. Well, yeah, the issue there being, if you're like, I'm going to see how fast my time can be, even though your form sucks, then you're missing the whole point.
Even if you're meeting some standards, like in a squat that your hips below your
Right,
knee,
like
whatever.
Right, like, well, no, I'm getting full depth in my squat, full extension at the top.
But
it's
you're
like,
rounding your back through it or
right.
whatever.
I mean, if you're going for just the time, then you're missing the whole fucking point. It's, you know, as fast as you can go with keeping good standards, with keeping good form, and benefiting yourself. Because shitty form, no matter how fast you do it, is not going to benefit you in the way or at all. Well, I mean, you might get stronger, but it's not gonna. It's gonna be more detrimental because you have a higher risk of injury, which is, if you're injured, not as functional, which is the whole point of everything we do in
Right.
CrossFit, is to be as functional as possible and to move through life as efficiently and functional as possible. If you're trying to go as fast as you can with shitty form, then that doesn't lead to good function.
The other thing is I noticed too, I don't know, and you coach a bunch of athletes, Nate, like more than I do anymore, but it's, those people will only get strong to a certain point. Like you'll be able to muscle through certain movements, but you're never going to be able to get a really great movement at really heavy weight because you can't muscle through some of those weights.
Right.
If you're not fast enough to get on the catch underneath a snatch and into a deep fucking full squat and get extended over, like you can't do that fast, you're not going to muscle it up that extra couple inches. You don't have it. You have to be exact.
Right. Raw strength will only take you so far.
Yeah.
And then with that, you have to also factor in flexibility and working on improving that and all that good stuff. That's why, like, powerlifters are super fat.
Well, a lot of that is just slow, moving mass against mass, right?
Right.
Like in a deadlift, those guys are really, the guys that are really, really good at it, like at Westside Barbell and shit like that, those guys are pulling back to where if that bar weren't there to counterbalance them, they would fall. And they're using all of their weight to pull back in that deadlift and come up with it.
Yeah. However, I think on average, you see less really fat Olympic lifters.
Dude, you should see Waxman. This guy Waxman, he's an Olympic lift coach, and he is a great big dude with a great big proud belly.
Those guys, I think, like you see,
Crazy.
you see less of those than powerlifters are all huge. I think you see less fat Olympic lifters than you do powerlifters, except for when we were in San Jose last summer for Gracie Worlds, and it's at that whole Fit Expo. I was standing there watching like the Olympic lifters, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like, they're clean. Is just muscling that bar up to the point where they can rest it on their gut and then get an elbow in front and then stand.
Really?
Like, yeah, that's
it's
what's
not really slow like that.
Well, I mean, like, it was fast to get it, but they stopped in the middle to rest it on their gut and then get their elbows in front and stand. I'm like, that's not.
Is that real? Like really resting on it? Like really?
Yes, they were resting it on their gut.
It's compartmentalized then, basically.
Yeah,
yeah, not a full movement.
Not a real movement where it's like fluid and actually doing it.
Right.
The goal is just to get the weight up.
Good on them though. I mean, how strong are their abs?
How strong is their gut?
They got a strong gut.
Pretty
Can
good.
any of them roll jits?
Probably not.
Not on the Shabbos anyway.
No.
You gonna roll on the Shabbos? Gracie Nationals coming up. What is it? January 17th? No, it's the 21st, 20th
19th and 20th.
in LA.
Yeah.
How many people are you gonna strangle that day?
As many are in my division?
How many?
I don't know yet.
How many will be in your division?
I don't know.
Give me a guess.
10?
For something like that, how many hours of a day do you have to work towards that goal? And do you think of that goal every moment of every day? Like, what are you as a competitive athlete?
Absolutely.
What's your day like? Are you thinking that day every day, or does the troubles of your work and all that get in the way of that, or like what happens as an athlete when you're driving towards a goal, and when do you start looking at your weight and all that? I mean, we're already pretty close to that date, right?
Oh yeah. I mean, I'm thinking about what I'm eating right now, and have been.
What weight are you at, and what weight do you have to be at?
I'll compete at 170. What I'm at right now, I haven't weighed myself in a little bit. I'm looking at my diet right now. I haven't stood on the scale. Probably.
I'm gonna say 180. You're at 180 right now.
Yeah, I was gonna say like 179, 180. If I have a real sloppy diet, I'm at 185. It hasn't been sloppy for a while. If like during the whole Life Challenge a few months ago, I was walking around about 178.
Right on.
And so
what's your training then look like? You're rolling every day, twice a day, or what?
rolling every day with some, some cardio. My favorite now, because I fucking hate any monotonous movement. Like, that's the diet is, I mean, it's easy.
Do you think cardio helps you roll in jiu-jitsu? Is that your experience?
I think rolling in jiu-jitsu helps me rolling in jiu-jitsu.
Right.
I definitely
I never found that running or anything helped me worth a shit.
No, not at all. If the thing that has helped me most in rolling with my endurance is CrossFit and just being stronger and having like all that. But to get the weight down, like to do the cardio to get the weight down.
Yeah.
I fucking hate any kind of monotonous movement. Like anytime I have to do long distance running or be on the fucking shoot me. But my favorite now is just Tabata. The 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off. Because I love that for one. It's my favorite because you can turn anything into a Tabata workout.
Right.
Like,
Explain Tabata.
Tabata is 20 seconds of work with 10 seconds of rest.
Like, give me an example.
Okay, so my cardio now, so I don't have to do long distance shit and like just be monotonous and want to kill myself, is I'll do Tabata row sprints. So I'll
Okay.
get on the row machine
Okay.
and I'll sprint for 20 seconds, rest for 10, sprint for 20, rest for 10. And what I'll do,
For how many minutes?
I'll do 5 minutes, rest a minute, and do that 3 times.
Wow.
So it's 18 minutes total with 3 minutes of rest in between each set. Is what
Right,
you're
so
saying.
you're
That's
doing,
tremendous.
Ooh, that is.
you're doing, what's that, 30 intervals?
Do you have to keep yourself at a certain? Do you make yourself keep like a certain rep stroke?
Yeah, I look at how many meters I go in that 20 seconds, and I make sure I pretty much that first 20 seconds where I'm really fresh, I sprint,
Yeah.
and whatever meters I hit, I make sure that that's my standard, and I hit that every 20 seconds.
I used to do that on an incline treadmill, like that workout we used to do.
I remember.
This sounds way more horrible.
It definitely sounds way more horrible.
This is why I'm not a competitive athlete. Fuck that.
I mean, the reason I like it, this is like the way my mind works with this shit is just, it's only for 20 seconds.
Yeah.
And that's why it's easy. Like, no matter how hard it is, it's easy because I only have to go for 20 seconds and then I get the rest.
I totally agree with you, but the thing is that then I start, because I'll talk myself out of anything, really. I can talk myself out of $1 million if you want me to. But basically, it's like, then I start thinking about all the sets. And I'm like, yeah, it's only 20 seconds now, but I got like 22
Gotta start
more
working
sets
harder.
of this. And then,
Got to get in the moment.
yeah, you do. And it's
gotta
like,
get in the
you're
moment.
just fighting that all the time. So
Yeah.
I love Tabata for the exact same reason. I love
It's
it.
nice
Like,
what
I
you
think
just mentioned. That very thing is that how much a controlling aspect your mind is. And
Yeah.
how you have to control your mind.
You
and you
have
have to
to.
control your thoughts.
Yeah.
Which goes back to that fucking magnet thing I want to do is like how to get deeper and more acumen and precision over my mind. I did so much of that.
It's really
It
the,
also,
that's-
it also really helps to have somebody do it with you. Because, I mean, like, I've grabbed people, like, there was somebody, the last time I did it, there was somebody there who, like, couldn't work out because of a shoulder injury. And I'm like, well, can you row? And she's like, yeah, I can row. I'm like, cool, you do this with me. She's like, okay. And then that way, like, when they're in the middle of it, I'm like, come on, push, let's go.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm really less coaching you than I am myself. It's
Yeah.
like, I mean, yes, I'm making sure you go and you stay with it, but that's like the harder you go, the harder I go.
which,
So
by,
it's-
which, by the way, can I say, can we do Tabata row today?
Maybe after jits.
Well, when?
8:30.
8:30.
Yeah. We should do Tabata row today.
I'll
I
come
know.
watch you guys.
Okay,
And
Tait
then
will coach us.
I usually couple it with 100 double unders too.
Yeah, I know about the 100 double unders. I can do that too.
I'll do
And
it.
then
Although my double unders are horrible.
Then right after, Nate and I are going to wrestle.
And then I'll coach you guys through that.
That'll be way worse than just about.
Do you want some olive oil for that, or what?
We're good.
Are you sure? Because I have a.
You
bunch
have
of-
it.
No,
I-
hey,
it's called extra virgin olive
You
oil.
have it
by
in
the
your
way,
gym bag
which I know you guys.
for if you ever saw
Yeah,
it.
it's in my gym bag.
Yeah.
Cuts down on fungal.
Oh boy. So how many hours are you rolling a week?
Well, do class. That's about an hour and a half, and then stay after. Roll with whoever's there. It's hard to put a definite number on there, but a couple hours a day.
Yeah.
Drilling and not just straight rolling for 2 hours. But
Yeah, but how many days a week? 7 or 5?
5,
Okay, so we're looking at around 15 hours a week.
10 to 15.
10 to 15. That's pretty good. It's a part-time job.
Yeah.
Nice.
Good work.
How many other guys are going?
I want to say we have at least 5.
Nice. How come you don't do jiu-jitsu, Maynard?
Well, you know.
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Boy, oh boy.
I do CrossFit though.
Yeah. I'll tell you, I don't know from my experience, and why I do know, it's the same reason that all those dudes that love to box, they love to hit mitts. And they all want to say I'm a boxer or I'm a kickboxer or something.
You know,
But they don't like to do jiu-jitsu. You know why? Because there's an end in jiu-jitsu. There's a being dominated in the most
Well, wait.
primal way where you have to tap on your partner's body or say tap, 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 tap before your arm breaks or before you go to sleep. And that is something that most dudes' egos cannot handle.
It's true. But I'm going to say, to be fair, I did do some little bits of jiu-jitsu with Nate here, maybe a couple years ago. And it was fun. I enjoyed it. And then, I had like a little delay.
Yeah.
A detour.
So you're just on break right now, basically.
I'm on break
From your career.
I'm up and coming.
Still on break from almost being murdered by a hill.
Oh, yeah. I took Maynard on a hill sprints one time, and golly.
That's good. That's a story for another time, I think. But we'll definitely.
That was a big one.
We can definitely talk about that. That was a
Hill
great
sprints
story.
are another one. That's one of my favorite shit. I don't like Tabata, but it's kind of the same idea.
It is.
Find yourself a steep, ugly hill and sprint up it as hard as you can. All the way to the top. Don't stop 20 feet short. Pick a mark and then walk down and then sprint up again and do that for 10 cycles or something.
I mean, that pretty much is Tabata.
Yeah.
It is exactly that.
It's
the
tough.
interval, the high intensity interval training.
Take a pit bull if you want with you.
Yeah.
It'll make you run faster if you try to keep up with that bastard.
Yeah. Stretch out
His
though.
name's Hank.
Drink plenty of water because that kind of a training is no joke. If it's high intensity, you got to have your.
Especially at altitude.
Yeah.
All the high intensity training I've ever done has always been at altitude.
Yep.
Really. I mean, I've done some hard workouts at sea level, but altitude's where I fought out of and all that. And it's, except I guess when I fought in the WC, I did all my training at sea level. But yeah, man, it's no joke. Like that high intensity kind of drive. That's what you need. That's what it takes. Where it feels like you want to cough up your lungs.
Yeah.
It's the best shit.
It hurts.
The other thing I like doing is try to get 200 repetitions of a 24 kilogram kettlebell snatch inside of 10 minutes.
Okay, so it's a 24-pound kettlebell.
Yep.
Which is basically 45.
Set a timer.
24
for 10,
pound or 24 kilo?
24 kilo.
So it's 45 pounds.
Set yourself a timer for 10 minutes.
55. Okay, set it for 10 minutes.
And
then
snatch it floor to overhead
floor to overhead 200 times.
200 times.
That's pretty good.
It's really good if you can get there.
That's more than.
You get up above 150. Respect. It's all right.
So that's 10.
You get up in the high 80s, 90s, 200.
That'll be
That's
10 a minute.
some boss shit.
It's 10 a minute? No, it's more
No,
than
20
that.
a minute.
It's 20 a minute.
Yeah.
Which is fine. Like you could, I mean, the first 20, sure.
Yeah, you can.
And the second 20, maybe.
Yeah.
But when you start getting to the third 20, you're like,
Get past 100 reps
yeah.
and then keep it going.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's going to be painful.
Yeah.
Because once you hit 100, you're pretty much fucking burnt.
Pavel talks all that shit, and he does a swing kind of. It's like a swing snatch. If you watch the way those guys snatch, the Russians have a little different
Yeah.
standard. It's not ground overhead, so it kind of becomes like a one-handed swing up to overhead is what it looks like a little bit with a powerful hip extension. But ground overhead, man, is like that way I can exceed 200. But to touch ground and go overhead every time,
That's
I think like 189 maybe is as high as I ever got.
Wow.
I'm up there on the board over
Now-
there at CrossFit LA. Yo.
Now, are you switching hands?
Switching
each
hands,
time?
I switch them every for the first couple minutes I switch them every 20.
Okay.
And then for the next I switch them every 10. I go 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, you know, and then you know, I try to mark it. Like I try to mark it and get 20. You got to try to get 20 every minute.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's a lot of work. But your heart starts jumping out of your chest. That's where you can get that 190, 200 beats a minute type of action on your heart.
Which really, I mean, that's when all the fat really burns away.
That's when you really get going.
Yeah.
It's hard to get tired after that when you're rolling, when you're boxing. Like,
That's true.
If you work, a lot of people do cardio and but if you don't have a standard and a goal that you've set for yourself, you don't have a mark like that, you're not really doing shit. Like I'm glad, real proud of you. You went and ran 3 miles. Whatever, go fuck yourself. You know what I mean? That ain't shit. You got to put yourself in the fire of hell where it feels like you're doing bong hits off a furnace. Like that's what that kind of breath feels like. And if you can't stand that fucking pain, you're gonna break. You're gonna break in competition. You'll break. You know, like when you got the weight of another man on you and you're actually in combat.
Maynard's
Holy
familiar.
fuck! You got to be able to fight through those dead spots.
Yeah, you really got to fight through another man on top of you.
Oh boy. Well, guys, what else you got? Ooh, fuck! I feel like I got to say something about Django.
Oh,
God damn it!
so good.
God damn it!
So good.
Powerful.
Yeah.
I got the benefit of listening to QT. That's what his friends call him, you know, and Jamie Foxx rapping on satellite radio, dude. And like for the days preceding, they just had this loop of an interview that they did. fucking powerful, dude. Especially when you hear dickheads like Spike Lee out there talking about, I ain't gonna go see that movie and that racist cracker and whatever shit he's saying. Like, I love when the racist guys are calling other people racist names. That's hilarious. Like, great argument, dickhead. But the fact that when I listened to this interview, dude, it was just like really awesome. And the thought that went into it. I'd been on a film. A bunch of my friends were filming it while I just got to Louisiana, and they were just finishing up Django there, and they were way late on their date. But that part that was filmed, there are a lot of slave parts and aspects of that film that Tarantino was talking about. I wanted to film it in Trinidad or in Brazil or something, get somebody other than American, African Americans to take the sting off of it, just to take the hurt of like what a cosmically like that kind of schism that happened in America, and it fractured white and black forever. I mean that will color us forever. And he was like, man, I just don't know that I can do that. And he says he's in a conversation with Sidney Poitier, who is the fucking gangster Mac of Black American cinema. Like, I mean, that guy, he's the Martin Luther King of it. You know what I mean? Like, Spike Lee, I'm sorry, you can't fuck with that. And that dude says, hey, Quentin, it sounds like you're trying to shy away from your own subject matter. You're trying to hide from your own movie. And he goes, oh, I got to do it there. So it's not like a movie that's made just without thought to that. Like, the insane intelligence behind this film was just, to me, it's amazing.
Well, and honestly, how great is it that he did do it in New Orleans?
Yeah.
Or in Louisiana.
Right.
Or in the South.
Deep South.
Which is exactly where it took
Not
place.
much deeper south than New Orleans.
It's like it's more than an homage. It's really it's like you're really seriously paying respect to, you're respecting generations past.
Yeah.
You know, and you're really, you know, I'm not saying you can make it right by making a movie. It's far more complex than that. But what I am saying is that, you know, that's a huge risk in a country where no one wants to talk about racial issues.
Right.
Nobody wants to talk about it.
Yeah.
And Tarantino's like, yeah, here we go.
It's the other thing, too, I loved about him, is that you hear whatever director say whatever they want, but most of those guys haven't written their own movies. That's the thing that's so inspiring to me about Quentin Tarantino. He has an idea in his head, he writes it down, and then he films it. And it's awesome. It's like, that's great. And you look at the man's films, it's not like, you know, a lot of these directors, I won't say who I think is what, because please give me a job, whoever you are out there. But the fact is, not everybody's hitting home runs, you know. And you think of even movies that he disavows anything to do with, that he wrote that didn't come out the way he wanted. Like one of my favorite films ever, True Romance. That's a Quentin Tarantino joint. Like he wrote that and sold it, and he's like, you know, he said that they did him wrong or whatever, but the fact is that that's an excellent film. And then he goes into Reservoir Dogs, and then he goes into Pulp Fiction, and I mean, the guy's got a list of films like nothing, and those are all shits that he wrote.
Yeah, and Tony Scott did an amazing job. Rest in peace, Tony Scott. We love you. But did an amazing job on True Romance, and you could see even the brilliance of another director taking over Quentin's project. It was still beautifully Quentin Tarantino.
So
in so many ways.
Yeah, the ghost figure of Val Kilmer of Elvis in there, like. I mean, dude, it's fucking brilliant. What a love story. It's awesome. I don't know that whole the whole thing with the South too is that all these, you hear a lot of it, and Tarantino mentioned it to Jamie Foxx, and he goes, you know, all these guys say that there's no new stories to tell, and so that's the other thing about this kind of a genre of film that comes out. I mean, he says there's hundreds of stories of that antebellum South period. Of stories to tell, like that just have not been written because people are frankly scared of the subject matter. I mean, it's scary. The last thing that came out about it was what, Roots? And fuck, dude, that'll color you as a kid. That's a daunting. You're like horrified throughout it. There's no ha-has to it. There's no jokes, which is another thing that I thought Tarantino did beautifully, was wove in humor with atrocity. And your brain is going, which way do I go with this? Like, really amazing.
Well, it's like, too, he had to make it what it was, and he definitely didn't give anybody. No Americans got off free watching that movie. Like, we all had to pay in a way that we saw these atrocities and had to really like think about them. I mean, you think about it. While you're at Starbucks afterwards, you're like, this coffee is, you know, awesome, delicious, and
I saw a guy get ripped apart by dogs.
Yeah,
I mean,
and that's like the nicest of the things that happen.
Yeah.
I mean, that's you know, that's horrendous.
And that as presented with all those fine actors in that film, commonplace.
commonplace.
They're just nonplussed by it, not a big deal.
Yep.
You know, not even really sickened by it. Like, you know, the Northerners or whatever, the German guy, the head bounty hunter, he's taken aback. Django himself, Jamie Foxx, is like disgusted, but he's like, he's seen that. It's nothing. He's just kind of like, when he goes up, he's like, oh, it'll make you uncomfortable a little bit. He's like, it's your $50, however you want to, or whatever, and then they go on. You know, he's like, you're just wasting my time here. Are you done? You done with your show? Let's go. And it's just like nobody gives a shit. Like they're all and then all the hillbillies, they can't wait. They're eager to do it. You know, and you think about that. That's why I started off with the idiot Dixie flag comment earlier. Is that you got those same guys in pickup trucks in Texarkana dragging a black guy behind their fucking truck till his head comes off, not even 10 years ago in America. You know, and you talk, and Jamie Foxx in that same interview is going, you know, man, it wasn't that big a deal to me because I got called nigger when I was a kid growing up.
Yeah.
He's like, it's not like I grew up in L.A. or something where he's like, I've got people that are using that word in a way to me, which is not even a diminishment, but just your place in life, which is fucking astonishing that we're still there in parts of this country in that way.
Yeah.
Which is, I think, why it's an important film.
It's an important film that is actually going to I think it's going to change the conversation about American cinema. I mean, I think he did open the door, and I think we're going to see a lot more films that actually can really start to have a meaningful, honest conversation about race. And people were saying
dialogue,
a real dialogue, because we haven't had anything meaningful or authentic about racial discussion in this country for, I don't know, since the 60s, since Kennedy and Martin Luther King and his brother got together and they all started doing the whole civil rights movement. Like, it hasn't been really meaningful and authentic. We've been dancing around it. And MTV did a great job of making sure that hip hop and
was all looked at
black culture and it was brought up, you know, it's really great, and now people have a chance. Blah, blah,
I love
blah,
what you said too, dude. A couple days ago, you mentioned that it couldn't have been made by a black director.
It couldn't.
You know, that you can't do a fucking black revenge film on white America
with slavery as the subject.
It would have never been that kind. It wouldn't have gotten the acclaim. It wouldn't have been viewed. And frankly, man, if you make a little closet basement film and it doesn't get viewed, there's no impact. The impact of this is far-reaching.
Well, and also, like, let's say it was a new director that did it.
Right.
It was a black director. Could it be received by America? And then guess what? His career's over. Once America says, oh, that's just a white hating movie by a black guy.
Right.
And his career's over then. He's done.
Right.
Which is personally how I feel about all the Tyler Perry movies.
It's Tyler Perry.
Medea Goes to Jail? No?
How was it? Was it a good film, Nate?
I've never seen any of them.
This is telling you a lot about Nate right now. That's his input here. And you're welcome for that.
Who is Tyler Perry?
He's some actor, writer. Makes a lot of... No? Okay. Well, they're not all home runs.
Moving on. Thank you very much for being here for this first installment. And we'll talk to you again. We're going to do these every week, and we'll put them up, I guess, every Sunday at 4 o'clock. I'm going to get Red Band to drop one of these, one after the next. And look for some fun and exciting guests here. Thank you very much, Maynard Del Mar.
My pleasure to be here.
Nate Harris.
Thank you. At Natronovich on Twitter.
At Natronovich on Twitters. And that's NATRONA. Oh, sorry.
NATRONOVITCH.
TCH or just CH?
TCH.
At Natronovich. You can find him. He's one of my few friends on Twitter also. If you look for Nate Harris there, I think you can do that search that way. I'm at taitimusmaximus. Maynard is at Maynardo, just Maynard with the O at the end. Think of the singer from Tool. And God bless you all. Shine on. Thanks so much. Peace.